Welcome back. In our previous lesson, we have discussed about skip logic questions. In this lesson, we're going to talk about rephrasing responses in survey questions. Rephrasing responses can be simply defined as using responses inside another question. For example, you have asked the first question and you have been provided a response. You use that response to ask the next question. And to accomplish this, we need to know only two things. The first thing is the syntax, and the second thing is the data column name or the question which you want to use its response. The syntax which we use is $, open curly bracket, data column name, close curly bracket. And the data column name, it should be the unique identifier of the previous question which you want to use its response in the new question. This is very important because it helps in creating links between or among questions and confirming the provided response. Rephrasing responses is commonly used in roster questions and calculations. So to understand this, let me just add a question here. So I'm going to say, what is the name of the household member? And this one should be a free text response question. I'm going to put yes here on mandatory, and I'm going to change the data column name just to name. It should be simple to use. Let me add another question. How old is the household member? So this should be number, and I'm just going to make this mandatory. And on this one, I'm just going to put age. Okay, these questions can be asked if you want to collect data from household members. So you're collecting data and you are receiving the responses from the household head, and you have asked, what is the name of the household member? And here the hint says, please list the names starting with the oldest to the youngest. So the household head has listed all the names of the household members in that particular household. So now, one by one, you are collecting some particulars of these household members. For example, you are collecting name, age, gender, etc. To make sure that you are collecting data or the intended person, you can use rephrasing responses. For example, this question says, what is the name of household member? The next question, how old is the household member? Which household member? Automatically is the household member which his or her name has been provided. So to make it more clear and to confirm that you are collecting data for the person whose name has been provided, you can use a rephrasing response. So to do this, here we're going to remove this. Now the question is going to be, how old is $, open parenthesis. Then here we're going to put data column name. Data column name. So how old is data column name? So we need to replace data column name with the data column name of the question which you want to use its response. So we can go to the first question here and check the data column name, and data column name is name. So we're going to copy this and we're going to replace where I've put data column name with just a name like this. So now it reads as, how old is name? This means that once this question has been answered, the response which has been provided to this question is going to replace the whole of this. So let's preview and check this. As you can see here, it says, what is the name of the household member? But the next question says, how old is not complete because we have applied the referencing response. To make this question complete, we need to provide a response to this particular question. So for example, I type my name. So The name of the household member is Innocent Nguruwe. The moment I accept this response by pressing enter, now here you can see it says how old is Innocent Nguruwe. If I remove this, we go to the next household member. For example, the name is Thomas. If I press enter, it says how old is Thomas. So that's how referencing responses works in Kobo Toolbox.